What's going on, everyone? Air here, and I'm going to continue with the what you should invest in the Secret Realm store. So this is part 2, and I'm going to go do things backward compared to part 1. So I'm going to quickly explain the things that I've already invested, and then later I'll talk about the other ones that I didn't explain from last time. So first we're going to talk about Juggler's Gift. And this one is a definitely must buy, and it's Juggler's best helmet. There's no better ones here. So this one, first we're going to talk about the stat is really good because Juggler needs a lot of HP. You can see his HP is S. And you want to stack as much HP as possible. And after battle, restores your unit's HP by 10%. So first, you get a lot of HP, and now you can also recover HP after battle. And the last one is the best, and ignores the cost limit of skills. So basically, it gives you +1. You can see here, I awakened him already, so you can see there's... Oh wait, no, I did not awaken him. Okay, sorry, my bad. I did not awaken him and already has 6. So basically, you can only equip 5 before awaken, and now you get 1 more. So he can equip 3 to cost skill, and once he has his 3C out, then he can equip 2 skill and 1 3 skill. So that's the only helmet that does that in the game. The only thing that'll, you know, add stats and give you such a cool effect. So this one is a no-brainer. If you use Juggler, I think this is the best one out of all of them. But if you use Juggler, don't even bother finding him a helmet. Just buy this. Now we're going to talk about Lifany's special equipment. And this equipment, it's an accessory. So honestly, when it comes to accessory, I think it's pretty much a no-brainer. Because it's very... Well, good accessory is hard to obtain. And now it's a custom accessory. So you can imagine that it's just so worth it to buy it. Let me see, where the hell is Lifany? Alright, here it is. She's one of my favorite. And what Fairy Wing does is, I mean, it doesn't add a whole lot of intelligence. It's not as good as a regular SSR accessory, which usually gives you around 8% when it's maxed out. But this one, the good thing is that after attacking, can move 2 more blocks. So she would be the only mage where she can do the same thing as Leon, attack and then fall back. And then with this, really, it syncs very well with her talent here, because now she can set a bomb. When you're at 6 stars, magic bomb on 2 enemy within 3 blocks. And then now you can move back, and then you can kind of adjust your positioning, and you can plant it on whichever unit you want. Like, easier to control who you want to plant it on. So definitely recommend, if you're using Lifany, 100% you should get this. Next we have Farsight. Farsight is Emric's helmet. And I'm telling you, probably nobody invests as much as I do on Emric, and Emric is definitely one of my favorite SR hero. Possibly my most favorite. So Farsight here is a helmet. It's like a class. And I think it's awesome. First, it adds 10 HP. I would prefer if it adds defense, but whatever. And HP is very useful on him too, even though, like you can see, it's only B, but it's still very, like I said, it's very important to have HP. So after taking action, causes all enemies within a 2 block radius to receive a random debuff. So Emric, it doesn't hit very hard. Even if you build him like with a lot of attack percent, unlikely he's gonna one-shot in PvE or PvP, unless again mages or like archery. But this works very well against with this talent here. Like you can see, his talent is all enemies within 2 blocks suffer -2 mobility and cannot guard. So that's 2 debuff, pretty much. Well, I would say 1.5, because this only works on tank. But -2 mobility is already on 1. That's 1 debuff. And with this, that's 2 debuff. And it makes him very annoying. Even though if he can't kill anyone, for my build, if you look at my defense, it's very, very high. So how I use him, if you probably watch my Apex video, I don't really use him to kill. I use him to tank and just to be annoying. And I have Curse Lance on him because if it triggers, that's another 2 buff. So when my Eric gets close and do an attack, I can possibly do 4 to 5 debuffs. Plus now if I use Route here, that's 6 debuffs. So that becomes very annoying and scary. And if you equip like this, you can get another debuff and etc. So I definitely recommend. There's no better helmet out there in my opinion. Well, if you don't like this one, you can possibly any that adds armor. Not armor, defense. I think it's good. So this would be like another version of the Farsight, just without the effects. So if you use Emmerich, 100% I think this is the best. And now we're going to talk about Elmeda's special gear. There's no name to it. It's just 4 blocks. I don't know. But I call it the dildo or Elmeda's toy. And why do I call it that? It's because it has a very disgusting... It looks disgusting. Look at this. Like, what is this? It's like an... I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, so this one, 100% her best. And this one is just really good, the effect. So first, add intelligence. That's like any staffs out there. Any staffs that adds intelligence is already really good. And now there's a lot of effects. So after attacking and dealing damage, and it's easy. So basically any attack will work, right? Reduces enemies' mobility by 1 block and renders them unable to block. So anytime you do an attack, they cannot block. So this is the opposite. I can't say opposite. So this is the same as the Goddess left hand. Goddess left hand is this. But this one only adds healing effects. And when attacking after battle, grants 100% chance to reduce enemies' mobility by 2 blocks, lasts 1 turn. So this one is the one that adds intelligent, and they cannot guard. Well, usually when you reduce their mobility, they can't guard already. But this one, I don't know why they write that. So just to make sure there's like, I guess it makes it more like appealing. Like, oh, there's more effect than just mobility minus. Anyway, so this one makes her very scary because she's like a Bozo. She's like a defensive Bozo. She can debuff while defending while healing. And this one here, it works perfectly with her AoE here. She has 3 AoE in the game. In her class, I mean. So all these 3, and this works in any attack, AoE or whatever. And these one already provides a debuff. Like this minus, reduce enemies' attack intelligence, and this one a random debuff and dispel, and this one is also the same. This one is dispel 1 buff. And then once you have, I put Soul Stealer that adds silence, and then this dispel after attack. So now I can, with her talent as well, after taking an action, apply 1 random debuff to 4 enemies within all block. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then AoE here 4. So she'll minimum apply 4 debuffs by, just healing. Well, healing would be 3, but then if you do an AoE or you do a regular attack, that's 4. So it's really good. I don't think there's any, aside of the Goddess left hand, an offensive staff out there that can make people, disable guard. So this one's very, very good. If you're using Elmeda, 100% worth it. Okay, so now we're gonna look at Lanford's special helmet here. Defense +2 when it's maxed out is +10%. The hero talent span is still gonna +1. So what is his hero talent? In case you don't have him, his hero talent it's very good. I think it's one of the most broken in the game. Where is Lanford? Yes, here it is. So his talent is increases all stats of all friendly units within 2 blocks by 5% except HP. This effect doesn't stack with command. Command is the attack command, defense command, magic defense command, etc. So when he's 6 stars, it increases by 15%. So imagine everyone has an extra 50% when next to him. well, 2 blocks, right? But with that, it's 3 blocks. That's very far. That's really easy to proc, because it's like, usually you shouldn't be fighting too far away from your units anyways, from your ally, from your team. So plus another block, it's really, really good. And there's a lot of helmet, but all these helmet is plus defense anyways. Like you can see, plus defense. He probably doesn't really need to plus any HP if we look at his stats. So defense, well, these are his high stats one, but defense is something he also needs. I mean, when it comes to helmet, of course you're looking for defense. Well, you can use this, but with the extra talent span, I think it's very worth it, and definitely 100% his best helmet for him. So if you use Lanford, I think it's a no-brainer to get that. We're going to talk about Crown or Thorn here, and it's Freya's special helmet. This one is magic defense plus 2. It'll be plus 10 when it's maxed out, and before being forced in the battle, deals fixed damage to the enemy equal to 2 times the hero's magic defense. Freya doesn't really build magic defense, but honestly, just because the effect is her magic defense fixed damage before battle of her 2 times of her magic defense. So it's still really good, because with her talent here and Barb, well, we cannot look at this, because this one, if the unit HP is at plus 50%, but if you have this is 100%, it will trigger. Always trigger, right? So basically, before battle, we can already trigger 3 fixed damage. Well, before battle, I think it's only 2. Okay, don't quote me on that. Yeah, okay, you fix 2, and then after battle, yeah, okay. Sorry. So before battle, you can do it twice, and then after battle, you can do one more time. So that's very strong, because before the battle, you already weaken them. Because in Langrisser, for example, Last Rite, if someone has Last Rite here, let's say, who do I have Last Rite? Okay, I have Last Rite on Chris. So Last Rite works like this. When HP of this unit is at 100%. So if I do a fixed damage before the battle, then this effect doesn't work anymore. So lowers our damage taken by 40%, but in that case, this armor only becomes a defense plus 10% armor. And in this game, there's a lot of all kinds of, for example, I'm going to take the Red Horse as example. When soldier HP is above 80%, damage taken decreases by 45%. So in this case, you can always damage them, and then this effect will not apply. So that's very strong. That effect is very strong. Fixed damage is very good, but unfortunately in Apex there's a lot of ways to prevent fixed damage. But I don't think there's a better helmet out there for Freya as of right now. And especially she does need the magic defense with the last class unlocked. I know some people are from different regions, so I don't know if you have the last class unlocked yet. Valkyrie, where if you use Iron Rose, she can guard magic defense as well. Guard magic, sorry. So melee and magic. So very good tank, so I would recommend you get that. Okay, now we have Leden's special hammer. Trial of Faith here is defense and magic defense plus 5% when it's maxed out. So basically he can die one more time just like Fargus. So is it worth it? It's debatable. It's very debatable. I'm going to quickly show you guys my equipment with Leden. So it really depends how you play the game, because he needs HP, defense, magic defense. But we're not going to talk about HP. These are the most important. So Oath of Justice here gives you plus 8% of each. So plus 8%, that's a big deal compared to 5%. Imagine when you go shopping, like, oh, you get a 5% discount. You get an 8% discount. That's a big deal. So if you do, you know, $100, you're getting $8 instead of $5, right? And even though it doesn't let you down one more time, it really depends how you play your team and if you use him for. I think if you use him for Apex, Yeah, sure, because you need one more life. One more life is also always OP. But if you just use him for PvE, I think if you team him up with Sophia or Tiaris, where they can do healing regeneration, I think it's very... You don't need that. You're not going to die. Because this one allows you to be stronger, tankier, and with... I don't know what other equipment you guys are going to use, but there's so many other equipment that will make him like super tanky. Like Myladin, he never dies, especially if you use this soldier here. So that's why I didn't buy. If I buy, I'm basically buying one that allows me to die one more time, but I never die with Lenin when I use him. So I only got a weaker hammer. And this one you can get from the story for free. Or Time Rift, I forgot. So it's up to you. It depends. For me, the controller is very valuable, so I don't want to waste the controller on something I will probably never proc. But if I use him for Apex, when its 3C comes out, I'll definitely consider. Angelina Special. Okay, I'm telling you guys, this thing is garbage. This thing is garbage. I'll explain to you guys why. And okay, so first, defense plus 10% when it's maxed out. Sure. So when triggering act again, any buffs you have do not lose their turn count. So basically, well, you guys should get what it means. Like, so I'm going to continue. This effect can only trigger once per 3 turns. Okay, so there's a restriction. And only to act again, and then there's a 3 turns cooldown. And now we're going to look at Angelina, who I don't have built. This is Angelina. Her stats, defense, sure, we're going to get defense. 10% strong. She can be very tanky with Last Right and Thorn Guardian. Sorry, it's this, but most likely you should be building it with Renara if you have one. If not this one, sure, you'll make her very tanky. So now, when we have to talk about the Act Again effect. So this is the Act Again effect here. When attacking with a melee attack, hero's damage taken is reduced by 20%. Cool, awesome. After taking action, if your soldiers are all dead, you can act again. So this restriction is so hard to plan. It's so hard to like, I only want my soldiers, I want my soldiers all dead, but I'm like alive and shit. So sure, you attack, your soldiers died, you don't have this, but this is also a 3-turn cooldown. I don't know if it's worth it to get the special helm just to match this passive here, because once you unlock, there's just so many more moves you need to use when you're using her. Because if you're using it, most likely use Dragon's Breath, which does a lot of AoE damage, and you probably need Tito's Surge, and you probably need this. I don't know if this counts as another Act Again, honestly. Don't quote me on this, because this, okay, and Act Again. So this one is really good, because this is also 3 turns cooldown. So you don't lose your buff, but I honestly don't think it's worth it. Because you're only getting 1 extra turn for your buff. So if you don't have your, how should I say it? If you can Act Again, you want to use something like King's Crown. So King's Crown would be really good for Apex. Or we can use Jormungandr, however you pronounce it, which gives you HP and defense, and it does a debuff. If you can Act Again, you have a chance to debuff, right? 50%. So I don't know, I honestly think these two are just so much better, because now you can give 2 allies plus 20% extra damage, or if you're doing PvE, you can debuff the boss. You have 2 chances to debuff the boss instead of keeping your buff. Keeping your buff can be useful, but I don't know. I think without the cooldown on the helmet, I think it's very worth it. But there's a 3-turn cooldown, so you really have to match your passive or your talent there in order to make this very useful. Otherwise, it's just going to be a defense plus 10% helmet there. This one is Egbert's special armor, and I think this is his best equipment. So HP and magic defense. When you get 2 stats up, I think it's already really worth it. So maxed out would be plus 5%, and when attacked and dealt damage, gain skill range plus 1 and spam for 1. So his skill is 2 range, it's now going to be 3 range, and his AoE will put 1 more spam. So that's very strong, because if you look at plus his talent here, so he has a lot of AoE skill, and he has a lot of single shot. I think he has 2 single shot. Oh, 3. So this one and Dark Reaper and Fireball. So 3 skill shot and 4 AoE here. So that's really good, and he is strong with magic defense. And I don't think there's any armor that will add intelligent anyways. So this one, I think if you a Egbert lover, please get it. Because whenever you have an armor that gives you special effect rather than just stats, I think it's already pretty worth it. And this is talking about like skill plus 1 range and spam plus 1 range. So it's basically a balanced blade for mage. Alright, bear with me here. For God's sake, I cannot pronounce her name. I'm gonna call it Farah the bitch with hella eyes. So I 100% think this is her best helmet, because the first, the stat is whatever, plus 5% when it's fully built, but this one is big. When battling units, you have class priority over attack increases by an extra 20%. So this works very well with her talent. So how her talent works is, she's someone I was really interested in building. I just abort my mission because I don't use these faction in my Apex box. So this is her talent here. When attacking, hero will be transformed into the same unit type as enemy hero. So doesn't matter who you attack, you're gonna have your troops transform to that class, not your troops yourself. Okay, so if unit transformation occurs on this turn, you are granted 1 more action, and attacks increased by 25%. So for example, I attack, I don't know, Horse Leon. So now I'm a horse, and now next to Leon, because now I can act again, right? With Morph, right here. If unit transformation occurs on this turn, you are granted 1 more action. So now I can move again, and next to Leon is, I don't know, Elwyn, infantry Elwyn. So horse against infantry, that's the class advantage. That's where the helmet comes into place, and that effect will apply. When that apply, attack is increased by 25%, and with that helmet, it's plus another 20%. That's 45%. And with faction buff, there's going to be another 20%. So plus 65% when you attack a hero after morph. So that you really can one-shot anything if you have her like built correctly. So the helmet makes me want to build her. Alright, so now let's talk about Sarita's scarf here. Helmet type, HP plus 5% when it's maxed out, and after taking action, if no friendly units are within a 2-block radius, restore 20% HP and dispel 1 debuff. Here, I gotta say, this is very debatable. It really depends how you use Sarita. Okay, so plus 20% HP and 1 debuff dispel. It's good. It's really good, but there's also restriction, because you now have to make sure you don't have units near you, otherwise it won't apply the effect. So now I'm gonna look at her skills here. So if you play, for example, you play Apex, doesn't matter, even PvE, if you use Alhazard, then the scarf is not worth it, because when attacking, increases damage dealt by 30%, but this requires your soldier to be all dead to get that. So if you use this and the scarf, then you know it defeats the purpose. That is not worth it. Okay, and again, you have to either have, if you use the scarf, you either have this passive equip, because after eliminating an enemy, you can move another three blocks. So with that 3 blocks, you have a high chance to be away from your friendly unit, which were or into blocks radius. So if you don't have this, then the scarf is. If you don't use this, don't buy the scarf. If you don't use her faction buff, don't buy the scarf, because the faction buff, and when you kill an enemy, it allows you to move two more blocks. And here you can see when there are no friendly units, and then you'll restore HP. So with that scarf, you'll restore 40% HP, or maybe even more when she's 6 stars. I don't have her 6 stars right now, it's 4 stars. I think it's 30%, so 50%. So if you use faction buff with the scarf, then you'll restore a lot of HP and you can move after. But if you're using this, you're not gonna use the scarf in full potential. So it's really debatable. Otherwise, I think Dark Crown would be, not Dark Crown, new equipment, huh? King's Crown would be a better choice, because the effect for HP plus 5% doesn't really help, because she doesn't really want HP. She wants like attack, and King's Crown allows her to give extra 20% attack to friendly units. So this one, up to you, depends how you play her. Okay, now we're going to talk about Lambda's special accessory. First, again, it's an accessory type, so I really think it's a no-brainer getting an intelligent plus accessory. It's not plus by a lot, plus 5%. Lambda needs a lot of intelligence, but 5% is not really worth it. But if you look at the skill, the effect here is really, really good. So when you use the skill for each target damage, there's a 10% chance that the skill cooldown time will be reduced by 5. And this probability can be increased by up to 50%. So which means if you hit 4 targets, now it's going to be 40%. 3 targets, 30%. So this accessory is pretty much built for her AoE here. I don't have her built. And if you look at White Dragon's Breath here, and this one is a straight line AoE, which a really wide radius. So it's really easy to hit 5 targets at the same time. So if you do that, oh, also with her, all these AoE here, they can all hit very far, and this one's a straight line. This one's also a straight line. So it's not hard to hit more than 3 targets, so 30%, 40%, 50%. So your cooldown is 5 rounds. So basically, you use this, you hit all 5, you have a 50% chance to have this cooldown right away, and you can use it again. And you can look at all these cooldown; they are very, these ones are very short. So that 5 cooldown is basically allowing her to spam. If you're lucky, you're gonna be spamming this all day. Very, very strong accessory. Remember, I was saying that Angelina's special helmet is not worth it. I'm telling you what's even not worth it. Silver Wolf's helmet. This thing is trash. I'm telling you, and an SR helmet would be even better. Okay, so first, magic defense plus 5%. I mean, his stat, I think magic defense is B, sure, but it doesn't matter. Assassin, they don't need magic defense. When they get hit by a mage, they're gonna get killed anyways. Sure, they can probably trade a kill. Anyway, so the skill, the effect is what pissed me off. When initiating battle, if you have twice as many buffs as the enemy, you can attack first. Oh wow. Like, if you attack first, who cares? Who cares? Because you're an assassin, you are going to either ignore guard. We're gonna look at Silver Wolf here, I'm telling you. Okay. I don't have him built, but if you are using him, you're most likely going to use this skill. Ignores guard attacking an enemy. So you're going to one-shot anyway. So it doesn't matter if you attack first or attack later. You're going to one-shot. And all the other skill here is not even relevant. And so we're talking about twice as many buffs. So let's say if I fight against a Rachel with Fashion Buff, that's 4 buffs, and then maybe with Tiara's Healing Light, that's 5. Attack Blessing, that's 6, etc. And then you have maybe there's more, like damage dealt plus 20%, whatever. There's so many effects, especially in Apex. There's a lot of buffs. Usually your units would get like 6 to 7, and now this guy needs to have twice as many. How do you have like twice as many? You're gonna have like what, 14? So this thing only triggers if they have like, I don't know, 3. So now you have 6, and it's average to get like 6. So basically you need to have at least usually 10 or more to have this effect, you know, apply. It's absolutely useless. Don't get it. Okay, here. If you guys been following me for a while, watching my videos, I am a main character's lover. So I use Elmeda, I use Matthew, I use Grenier. This one here is pretty debatable. I think it's worth it, but right now I'm still thinking. So first one I'll take a look at it is for Grenier's helmet. Magic defense plus 1 and max plus 5, and when you have 7 or more buffs, counter attack damage increases by 50%. Okay, so now we're gonna go back and look at Grenier. Not a whole lot of people build him. Okay, so magic defense is absolutely not something he needs because he doesn't block magic defense. He doesn't guard magic. So why do we need it? So now that is one thing why I hesitate to get the helmet, because he needs to stack defense and attack because of his talent. So his talent is basically if he gets attacked, well, when forced into battle. After battle, there's a 100% chance to increase attack and defense by 10%. So you want to stack this multiplier for 2 turns up to a maximum of 3 stacks. So that helmet is built for him. So faction buff is plus 4, and you get, you know, you go into the battle 3 times. Basically, when you get attacked 3 times, now you get 7. So when you get 7 buffs there, right here, your counter attack damage increased by 50%. That's crazy. 50% is a lot. So if you do 100%, now you're doing extra 50% on top of that. So, I mean, it's not very hard to get 7 or more buffs, but like I said earlier, faction buff for 3 of his stack, that's 7. So you really need to kind of force give him more buffs to counterattack. But again, he doesn't counter magic, he doesn't guard magic, so I'm not too sure if it's worth it. I feel like any other helmet that adds HP or defense might be more worth it. And it requires all 7 buffs to make him probably one-shot something with a counterattack. I don't know, I probably get it. I still think it's really good. Really, really good, because once you have this effect applied like proc, like you're going to guarantee kill something, right? I'm still thinking. I think it's debatable. Okay, we're finally at the very, very last gear here. Wind Plume, which is Illustrio's special helmet. And I'm telling you, this thing is cheating. It's overpowered. This is, you know, if we talk about like jugglers a must buy, this one's a must buy if you have Illustrio. So this thing basically makes her cheat. So magic defense plus 2%, doesn't matter. The stat doesn't even matter, even if it's plus, well, it's plus attack, that'd be crazy, right? But we don't even have to look at this. So when on forest, mountain, and grassland terrain, attacks ignore guard. Attacks ignore guard. So she's an assassin. And after battle, restore 20% of HP. Like, you know how her talent and all that shit works? She basically can run anywhere. Her mobility is crazy. I will upload a couple of Apex, which I played against Illustrio, and she basically can move anywhere she wants in the map. And she does so much damage because her talent here allows her to deal more and more damage when passing through defensive terrain, gain chance to negate mobility penalty. So she already moving more, and with that she can ignore guard. So she's imagine Sarita Sarita already can move like half screen, but now she's like a Sarita who can move full screen and ignores guard. And after she also restore 20% HP. Like, it's cheating. That is also why I just got her to 4-star and building her to 5-star and 6 stars. And it's just really good. Very, very good. Because there's so many maps that have that Terran there with all those Terran that were mentioned. If you look at the map here, I think you can choose map. No. Map change. So only this one. It doesn't matter. If we're talking about Apex, there's only the sand, the desert one, that probably doesn't have those Terran, but the rest would have it, and it makes her very, very strong. And anyways, that is it, guys. These are only 2 parts, and I will have part 3 and 4 when they have more equipment released. But usually when they drop new equipment, it's usually just 3, so it'll be much shorter video in the future. Anyway, so thank you for watching, guys. I really hope this helps you guys. And the next video will be a tier list of the Secret Realm gear. And after that, if there's anything you guys want me to cover, let me know. I just have been very lazy. And I just don't like doing a lot of these basic guides. But honestly, everyone's reaction, people have been appreciating these videos. It motivates me to make more of these. So I'm enjoying myself. So if there's anything you guys want me to cover, I'm more than happy to. I know half a year ago, there's people been asking me to do the how to build a specific character. I always been thinking about that, but when I make a video, I just don't want to talk and then navigate the game and talk about it. I want to show the actual visual example, etc. So that takes a lot of time and effort. I'm a little bit lazy. I don't have those time as of right now. So anyways, if you guys find this useful, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.